Welcome to our 2020 conversation series. This is Marsha Gomes-Mckie, founder of Caribbean Books Foundation. Today, I will talk to you about children's book layout, what you should know as a writer and as an illustrator. I can be contacted at mgomesmckie@gmail.com and my WordPress blog is Marsha Gomes. I have different artist styles. I do hand-drawn illustrations, black and white, colored. I also do computer art, graphic design, and I also do like mixed collages. So I have a lot of different styles that I still want to try. So anything you're interested in, reach out. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is why are pictures important. Pictures are very important, especially to children's books. Pictures tell a story, and sometimes they tell a story in the story. Picture books really doesn't have a lot of descriptive writing in it. So that the pictures are actually part of the story. So the story isn't anything without the pictures. The best story are those where the pictures tell a secret or they uncover something. I read a book once where it's a book about motivating children to do their best and always succeed. And there are these boys and they're digging underground and they're looking for diamonds and they dig and dig and then they get tired and they stop and they dig and dig and they get tired and they stop. And this goes on throughout the book and they get tired and they change directions and stuff like that. And they keep stopping and then they give up. But what the story, the pictures itself tell the story that every time, just when they give up, just about a feet away, there were diamonds that they didn't find. So every time they nearly give up, there were diamonds that they didn't find. So the story is one story, but when you put the pictures in, it gives it another story, and that's what makes a great picture book. So the illustrator is part of the writing. So you need the illustrator to bring those pictures out. So as a writer, you must write the story with the illustrations in mind. So you need to visualize what it is you want in the pictures, even if you're not drawing it. As children grow up, there's less and less pictures, but positioning of the pictures is also key because it promotes reading and it also helps guide. Something that the one wonderful thing that pictures does with children growing up is that they help them read better because children don't read to the end of the book. Children read to the next picture and they take a little rest. So they don't always have to read to the end. In their mind, if they can make it to if there's a picture on every 4 page, so they're reading 4 pages at a time, the rest look at the picture, 4 pages. So it's easier to read a really big book if you have all these rests. So pictures help reading and also pictures help tell the story. So that's why a children's book really needs it needs good pictures, but it also needs strategic thinking when you're placing pictures. As we move forward, the things to think about is your book size and pages, illustrator style, different types of spread, and I'll just talk to you about extra things that you need to know. So we're looking at book size and pages. Whenever you're doing a book, you must always think of the distribution process. You must think of the end in mind. So if you're doing, sometimes people say, I want to do a children's book and I want the biggest, widest, tallest, best book out there, which is wonderful. But are you selling the book yourself or are you using a distributor? So remember, those boxes have to be shipped. Those books have to be put in boxes, and it's the standard boxes that usually come to. It's how many books are you going to get? These books are also going to be sold in bookstores. They're going to be placed on library shelves. You have to go to the library, go to the bookstores, take a ruler, go and measure the shelf, approximate exactly how. And then some people say, well, I don't want my book there. But the thing is, a store owner isn't going to buy a shelf just for your book. Your book might end up in a magazine rack. It might end up on a table somewhere. It may not end up in the children's book section where it's going to get sales. So before you decide on the children's book, I would say go to the library, go to the bookstore, and find a book that's the right size. It doesn't have to be the right It doesn't have to be the type of illustration you want. Just find a book size, the page, the feel of the pages and stuff like that. Find something that you could work with and make sure it's on the shelf. And and look around the store, see if there are books that are out of place. Think in your mind where you want your book to go. Okay, so you're thinking of an illustrator style. Illustrator style is how your book is drawn. So this is how you actually choose an illustrator. You call around and you ask them for their portfolio, and according to what you like, you hire a person. So you can do computer graphics. Computer graphics would be something like this. Something that's it's done on the computer, it's cute. This would be more of a hand-drawn and painted. So you see the difference. This is one of mine. It's hand-drawn, using more pencils and crayons. It's a different match. There's also like in between, this is Dr. Seuss. So it's drawing, but it's also computer work. And this one, Three Little Fishes, computer graphics. So it's up to you. So just look. There are also books that if you need something, a touchy feely book, or if it's more crafty and they will scan it so you actually see the different layers. So it's up to you and to look at the different books and look for an illustrator, actually portfolio, and see what the illustrator has done. And it's even good to find a book that you like. If it is you like something like this and you say, okay, I want graphics like this, you snap a picture just of it and you send it to the illustrator and ask them if they have anything like that, and ask them if they can send it to you to see. So you can make a decision on what it is the illustrating style that you really want. We look at children's book layout. I'll explain to you what a spread is. First, you lay out your cover design. The first page is only for an ebook cover, and that's like one flat page. But when you're doing print, you have to do a back page and a front page together as one picture. So, and you lay out this separately, 4 pages, and it's not 2 pages, it's 4 pages, because you have the inside pages, and this is the front pages, and you have the inside pages. So the inside pages, if you look at some of the children books, you will see that the inside pages has like a stick-on to it, if it's according to what the book is about. Now, when you're doing your pictures, you could either do individual pictures, single pictures, a picture on every page, and it isn't related. It's related to the words on the page. So if you're doing a 32-page layout, you'll have to do about 30 pictures. Ask the illustrator to do about 30 pictures, and you'll have to say what pictures you want, or you could just let the illustrator figure it out by the words. Or you could do a full 2-page spread. So this is not 2 pages, this is one spread, and one spread covers 2 pages. So if you're doing it with a continuous flow like this example, then if you have a 32-page book, you might do like 14 spreads. So you're getting one picture to cover full 2 pages. And in this one, the illustrator has to design it in a way that the words will make sense and the words will look complementary. So you have to think about what sort of spread are you doing. Are you doing an individual spread, which is just one picture per page, and some people will do one blank page, one page with a picture. So a 32-page spread, you'll have 16 pictures. Or you do a full color coverage like this on every single page, and it's still 16 photos because 2 pages are covered by one spread. Or you can do what was on the slide before. You can just do individual pictures per page to tell the story. When you're doing a children's book layout, you also have to think about doing a mock-up. Now I'll explain to you in a little bit what a mock-up is. And you also have the option of doing a Word document and writing, and a Word document is sent to the illustrator. I would make a list of all the pages, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and I say what I want on the pages. Or if it's like a double spread, if it's like a spread look, you say, well, page 3 and 4, that goes 150 and it covers, and you tell the illustrator what words is going to be on the page. So even after you agree, you do the mock-up and you agree on what you have to do, it's always good to send the illustrator a document that it's signed, send the person something in writing, and then let the illustrator loose. So you have an illustrator and you want to send specifications to an illustrator. The first thing, what I would do is I would do a mock-up. Books are done in, I have a page here. Books are done in four pages. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 pages, right? So you have to, how many pages in the book has to always be divisible by 4, because this is how it's printed. It's printed on a sheet of 4. So if you have something that's divisible by 2, at some point in time you'll have 2 blank pages, because they must print indivisible of 4. That's how books are printed. So it has the number of pages has to be divided by 4. So what I usually do is I just get paper. I put the amount of paper that I want, and I make a little book. I just staple it right there, and then I go through. This is my like mock-up sheets. I go through exactly writing out the words in pencil, and I do not exact illustration. I just put like notes on where, what if it's a book about a dog, you don't see smiling here, you don't see the plane here, and then at some point the secrets of the book have to be revealed and stuff like that. So I make notes, and this helps too when you put in your extras. So you will see the page that you put your dedication to. This is the cover is separate. You could put the cover here and put it in and see how many pages. So you have your dedication, you have your copyright. So you won't miscount. So you will, so this book, these pages, and then you can put in more pages if you need. So you will know exactly how, so this is a real version of the book, how the book is going to look. So at the end, you won't have to say, I'm missing 2 pages, and you can't miss 2 pages. I mean, you're missing 4 pages. You have to look for. So you have to make sure you have, and then this also helps with the illustrations for you to see if you're doing how many spreads you have to do, if you have to do 12 spreads, or if you have to do a picture for every page. So this helps. So always normal paper, use your stapler and just write it up. Sometimes I also use I just get like one of these babies drawing books for like $5. Sometimes $2 on these things, and it's already stable and everything. And I just, this is what when I say mock-up, this is what I mean. This is an actual mock-up. The technical specification is definitely the illustrator specification, the mock-up, the Word document for the illustrators. So this would be what our cover page looks like. This is the whole picture, and you have the back of the book first, and then you have the front of the book. I don't have a spine in this one though. And this is, and you have the 2 inside pages, which is usually blank, or you can put this, which is 28 pages. So you see it's loading. So in all this cover is 4 pages. Even though it's 2 pages, you still have the inside pages. Go through it and you fill up your pages, because you must have, it must be divisible by 4. Okay, one of the tools I use a lot, whether it's Amazon KDP. Now I use this Kindle Direct Publishing, whether I am publishing a book on Amazon or not, because they have a lot of resources. You see how much reading material they have. You can go in here and you can just read, and they just break everything down, the process. One of my favorite tools is this download calculator. Okay, so this is a file that you actually have to download. It downloads as an Excel sheet, I believe, and it gives you choice of paper. It asks you trim size and asks you number of pages. So it tells you what's available and not available. So let's say you have this 32 pages. You want to do the manuscript, you want to do the cover. So you see what comes up? The literal dimensions, exact fit of the printer, where the barcode will be placed, this is exactly where the printer is going to cut the book. So when if you're an artist, an illustrator, you're not just doing the pictures and send it to somebody to format. If you're formatting it yourself, This is a file that you could actually download, and it gives you the dimensions of every single thing. This is also in your KDP dashboard. When you load the file to be printed, you upload your cover and you upload the inside of the book, and then you press print preview, and it lines it up just so. If it is you have artwork and it does not line up with this, you know you will have a problem with the printer. So I use this even though I'm not printing, I'm not publishing, I use this to double check, because I think it's free and it's always been wonderful. And you can go through the entire book, so you can see where, if you have illustrations that will go outside the line, illustrations of it. And the wonderful thing about this is that they do a quality check for you, and they actually tell you where, unless it's perfect, this approved sign will never come up. So this is one of my cheat sheets. I use Amazon tools. So this is a very wonderful tool. If you're using Kindle, use the Kindle's Kids Creator, not the normal Kindle Creator. If you use the normal Creator, and then when you preview it, the pictures and the words may not fit. But if you're using Kindle, please use the Kindle's Creator. And you also, even if you're not using Amazon, I would say get an Amazon account to be able to use the tools. One of the final things that the writer has to do is to let the illustrator illustrate. You are a writer, and if you're a writer and an illustrator, I'm a writer and an illustrator, and I work it out. But if I'm giving somebody my book to illustrate, I leave them alone. So as a writer, you communicate as much as you can, the story that you have, the information that you have, you send them the specifications, you talk about it, and then you trust the person to do the job. Illustrators need to be free to illustrate, and they will give you the best because every book that you do is a recommendation in your corner. So do not be afraid as a writer to give the illustrator free rein to surprise you. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, post it in the comments, and I am here for about a half an hour to an hour, and I will discuss it with you.